going up to that scores table with my dad, checking in for the first time. That's a crazy moment I will never forget.
In the world of professional basketball, few names command attention quite like LeBron James. But today, a different James is stepping into the spotlight. At just 20 years old, Bronny James, LeBron's eldest son, is rewriting the expectations set before him. He's not just another rookie fighting for minutes. He's a young man who's been criticized, doubted, and praised, all before playing a full NBA season. His life is a whirlwind of flashing cameras, luxury homes, and million-dollar endorsements. But behind the glitter lies a story of survival, scrutiny, and sheer will. In 2023, he collapsed from a cardiac arrest during practice. In 2024, the Lakers drafted him anyway, sparking outrage and applause in equal measure. Now in 2025, his name isn't just tied to royalty, it's becoming a brand of its own. Critics say he's only here because of his father. But with each game, Bronny inches closer to proving them wrong. What made the Lakers gamble on a player with a medical red flag? And how did Bronny build a multimillion-dollar empire while still finding his place on the court? The story of Bronny James isn't just about basketball. It's about legacy, resilience, and the weight of a name too big for most shoulders. Bronny James was born into fame on October 6, 2004 in Akron, Ohio, as the firstborn son of LeBron James and Savannah Brinson. His arrival was heralded not just in the press, but in NBA locker rooms, sports blogs, and the hearts of fans who already saw him as a future king. But for Bronny, the crown came with a crushing weight. While other children shot hoops in backyards unnoticed, Bronny's every move was recorded, analyzed, and broadcast to millions. Videos of his games went viral before he hit double digits in age. At just 10 years old, clips of his ball handling and court vision sparked headlines asking if he might become the next LeBron. But for Bronny, basketball was never a hobby. It was an inheritance. The family's move from Akron to Miami, then to Los Angeles, wasn't just about LeBron's career. It marked Bronny's quiet introduction to an intense youth sports circuit, where teams like the Miami City Ballers and the North Coast Blue Chips served as both battlegrounds and pressure cookers. Every missed layup, every turnover magnified. He was a child, but expectations made no room for childhood. And in a moment that revealed the fears behind LeBron's commanding presence, the elder James banned his son from football and hockey, afraid of injuries that could derail a dream already too big to fail. As Bronny walked alongside his father through NBA tunnels and into roaring arenas, the message was clear. Greatness was not an option. It was the family business. By the time Bronny James enrolled at Sierra Canyon High School in Los Angeles, he was already a national headline. But Sierra Canyon was no ordinary high school. Known for producing top-tier athletes, it doubled as a stage where young stars were both celebrated and dissected under an unforgiving spotlight. Bronny joined a roster stacked with elite talent. Players like Jet Howard and Mikey Williams shared the court, but all eyes remained fixed on LeBron's son. Game after game, media outlets poured in. Live streams were packed with viewers, and headlines questioned his every stat. Was Bronny good enough? Or just famous enough? What many didn't see was the young player quietly sharpening his craft. He wasn't the top scorer or the flashiest dribbler. Instead, he focused on consistency, defense, and decision-making, earning the attention of scouts like ESPN's Jonathan Givney, who began citing Bronny's basketball IQ and three-point accuracy as signs of real NBA potential. Yet, no accomplishment came without a footnote. Every point was followed by whispers. Would he matter if he weren't LeBron's son? The pressure wasn't just external, it was personal. Every success had to be twice as convincing. Every failure felt amplified by 1,000. But through the noise, Bronny kept showing up, game after game. He didn't chase comparisons. He studied them, and in doing so, he began carving something rare in the shadow of a giant, his own identity. On a warm July day in 2023, the unthinkable happened. During a routine practice with the USC Trojans, Bronny James collapsed. In an instant, the gym fell silent. Coaches, players, and trainers scrambled. Paramedics rushed in. The diagnosis, cardiac arrest. The nation watched in disbelief as news broke. LeBron James' son, the rising star groomed for NBA greatness, was fighting for his life. Behind the scenes, the James family clung to hope. Doctors later revealed Bronny had a congenital heart defect, a condition that had gone undetected for years. For most athletes, this would have been the end, a career-ending wall. But Bronny didn't accept that fate. After undergoing surgery in August 2023, he embarked on a long, punishing road to recovery. What the public didn't see were the sleepless nights, the painful rehab sessions, or the quiet fear that another collapse could come without warning. Still, Bronny pushed forward. Just 5 months later, on December 10th, he returned to the court wearing a USC jersey, scoring 4 points in his debut. The box score barely mattered. That appearance was a declaration. He was still in the game. He played 25 games that season, averaging 4.8 points. Not headline-grabbing stats, but every minute was a triumph over adversity. In a sport that thrives on comebacks, Bronny James delivered one of the most emotional in recent memory. He didn't just recover, he inspired. The 2024 NBA draft was expected to be routine, until the 55th pick sent shockwaves through the league. The Los Angeles Lakers selected Bronny James, a move that instantly ignited debate across sports media and social platforms. Some called it historic, others called it nepotism. After all, Bronny had just come off a season averaging under 5 points at USC and was recovering from a life-threatening heart condition. Critics scoffed. Was this basketball strategy or a father's influence pulling strings? But behind the noise, the Lakers saw something few acknowledged: resilience, drive, and a ceiling far higher than the stats suggested. Bronny didn't walk into the draft room demanding stardom. He came in ready to work. The Lakers offered him a 4-year, $7.9 million deal, with $4.37 million guaranteed. The headlines wrote themselves: the James dynasty continues. But Bronny wasn't here for fanfare. On October 22, 2024, he and LeBron made history, becoming the first father-son duo to share the court in an NBA game. For LeBron, it wasn't about legacy anymore. As he later told reporters, "I don't need any more titles. This is the greatest moment of my life." But for Bronny, it was just the beginning. Draft night didn't crown him. It challenged him, and he responded not with entitlement, but with effort. If critics expected Bronny James to crumble under pressure, they weren't watching closely. After signing with the Lakers, he spent much of his rookie year in the G League with the South Bay Lakers, far from the glitz of Crypto.com arena, but right where he needed to be. It was here, away from the NBA spotlight, that Bronny began silencing doubters. On December 12, 2024, he erupted for 30 points in a single G League game. Then again, on January 24, 2025, he followed it up with 31 more. These weren't flukes, they were signals. Bronny was evolving. He wasn't just surviving professional basketball, he was starting to own it. His moment came on March 20th, 2025, when the Lakers, depleted by injuries to LeBron, Luka Doncic, Austin Reeves, and Rui Hachimura, called him up to face the Milwaukee Bucks. Under the arena lights, Bronny delivered a team-high 17 points with 5 assists in 30 minutes. He even drove past Giannis Antetokounmpo, an image that went viral within minutes. That night, the roar of the crowd wasn't for LeBron, it was for his son. Lakers coach J.J. Redick praised Bronny's progress, pointing to his sharp decision-making and poise under pressure. For once, the story wasn't about legacy, it was about performance. Bronny had gone from a question mark on the roster to a player earning his spot, one possession at a time. While Bronny James earns his place on the hardwood, his lifestyle off the court is unmistakably elite. Raised in the lap of luxury, he now moves through life with the confidence of someone who's never known financial limits, yet is determined to build wealth on his own terms. His primary residence? A $23 million Brentwood mansion in Los Angeles that blends modern opulence with family warmth. The estate boasts 8 sprawling bedrooms, a private home theater, a Michelin-grade kitchen, a climate-controlled wine cellar, and an indoor-outdoor gym that rivals NBA facilities. Floor-to-ceiling glass walls reveal panoramic views of the city, a constant reminder of the rarefied air he breathes. But Bronny's real estate portfolio doesn't end there. According to Athlete Luxuries, he and his younger brother Bryce co-own a $6.8 million property in Akron, Ohio, a sentimental nod to their roots. Designed by their mother Savannah, The house features a full-size basketball court where family memories and training sessions intertwine. Then there are the cars, symbols not just of wealth, but of identity. For his 16th birthday, Bronny received a $75,000 Dodge Charger SRT from LeBron, complete with a custom father-son logo. Since then, his collection has expanded dramatically. He now commands the streets in a $326,000 Mercedes AMG GT Black Series Project 1 Edition, a vehicle that rockets from 0 to 60 in under 3 seconds. He's also been spotted in a $150,000 G-Wagon and a black and silver Jeep Wrangler, each one a statement, each one a chapter in his story of ascending privilege. But here's the twist. Bronny's not just inheriting these luxuries. He's beginning to own them financially and emotionally. From basketball courts to luxury garages, his lifestyle reflects both the power of his family name and the ambition to elevate it. Long before Bronny James signed his first professional basketball contract, he was already generating numbers most athletes only dream of. While still at USC, he secured nearly $6 million in NIL name, image, and likeness endorsements, catapulting him into the elite ranks of college earners. At the center of his portfolio, a powerhouse trio of brands, Nike, Beats by Dre, and PSD underwear. Nike alone reportedly pays Bronny over $1 million per year, a staggering figure for someone who hadn't yet played a minute in the NBA. Beats and PSD contribute hundreds of thousands more, collectively turning the young athlete into a marketing juggernaut. But the revenue streams don't stop there. Bronny has harnessed social media with precision, boasting over 7.1 million Instagram followers and 5.7 million on TikTok. That digital clout translates into serious cash. According to Influencer Marketing Hub, he earns between $10,000 and $50,000 per sponsored post, making each caption and photo a potential paycheck. His presence extends beyond basketball and branding into the world of esports. As a member of FaZe Clan, he taps into another devoted fan base, drawing in an estimated $50,000 to $100,000 annually from gaming content and sponsorships. According to Forbes, his estimated net worth sits at $10 million, a blend of NBA earnings, endorsements, content deals, and personal assets like real estate and luxury cars. Insiders say he's exploring tech investments and sports startups, likely guided by his father's proven blueprint. LeBron turned his NBA income into a $1.2 billion empire. Bronny is clearly paying attention. At just 20, he's not only dribbling down the court, he's maneuvering through a financial playbook that many veterans never master. His brand is young, dynamic, and rapidly diversifying. If this is the opening act, the next chapter might just be a masterclass in legacy building. Amid the relentless pressure of pro basketball and the weight of a global surname, Bronny James has found something few in his position managed to hold onto: genuine young love. Her name is Parker Whitfield, daughter of actors Dondre Whitfield and Sally Richardson Whitfield. The two met at Sierra Canyon High School, where Bronny lit up the hardwood and Parker dominated the softball diamond. Their relationship, like so much of Bronny's life, began quietly but couldn't stay hidden for long. In the summer of 2024, the couple was spotted holding hands at the Paris Olympics, cheering on LeBron from the stands. That single public appearance sparked a wave of fan support and curiosity. On October 3, 2024, Parker made their romance Instagram official with a heartfelt National Boyfriend Day post. A photo of the two smiling beside Mickey Mouse captioned, "BF Day, I love you." Bronny replied, "I love you, baby," with a simplicity that resonated far beyond celebrity circles. Since then, their digital footprints have told a story of deepening connection. When he's on the road with the Lakers, Bronny has posted messages like, "I miss my baby," alongside cozy snaps from Disneyland Paris. And on Valentine's Day 2025, despite a packed NBA All-Star weekend, he surprised Parker with a hotel suite filled with rose petals and heart-shaped balloons. She shared a photo of the moment with the caption, "My Valentine," and Bronny reposted it proudly. This isn't just a celebrity pairing, it's a stabilizing force in a life full of noise. Parker has stood by Bronny during public backlash, low-scoring games, and internet mockery. She's been present at his brother Bryce's playoff matches, cheering quietly from the stands. In a world where social media often distorts affection into performance, their connection feels startlingly sincere. For Bronny James, who lives under scrutiny few can imagine, Parker is more than a girlfriend. She's a reminder that beneath the headlines, he's still just a 20-year-old trying to navigate fame and love with authenticity. For Bronny James, every step onto the court comes with more than just defensive pressure. It comes with the burden of expectation and the sting of public doubt. From the moment he joined the Lakers, the whispers turned into roars. He's only here because of LeBron. Across social media platforms and sports talk shows, the term Nepo Baby became a recurring insult. Critics questioned his stats, his minutes, even his jersey. It all came to a head when ESPN analyst Stephen A. Smith publicly pleaded with LeBron on national television. Stop it. Everyone knows Bronny is here because of you. It was brutal and it was personal. The backlash peaked on March 6, 2025. During a game at Crypto.com Arena, LeBron confronted Smith in a viral courtside moment, pointing and yelling from the sideline in a rare public outburst. The message was clear. He'd had enough. Smith later doubled down on his comments, saying on Gill's Arena podcast, "This isn't about Bronny, it's about you, LeBron, for dragging him into this mess." The public split. Some defended the elder James, applauding his defense of his son. Others intensified the scrutiny, calling Bronny a Make-A-Wish charity pick and a Lakers embarrassment. And the stats didn't help. For a stretch in early 2025, Bronny averaged just 1.4 points over 18 games. On January 28th, in a game against the 76ers, he played 15 minutes and missed every shot. The crowd didn't just boo, they mocked. Even when he dropped 17 points against the Bucks in March, skeptics dismissed it as luck. Through it all, Bronny remained composed. No outbursts, no excuses, just focus. For fans who felt the sting of being unfairly judged, his journey resonates deeply. He's not just facing a zone defense, he's battling public opinion. And every step forward is a defiant act of self-belief. For all the headlines, brand deals, and social media buzz, Bronny James is building a legacy far deeper than the scoreboard reflects. After surviving his 2023 cardiac arrest, Bronny didn't just return to basketball. He became an advocate. In a heartfelt Instagram post, he wrote, "I'm here today because someone acted fast," referring to the use of a defibrillator that saved his life. That single statement became a rallying cry. Since then, Bronny and the James family have pushed for defibrillators to be made standard in schools and sports facilities nationwide. It wasn't a publicity stunt, it was personal. Thousands commented, saying they'd scheduled heart screenings because of his story. Some even credited Bronny with helping save their loved ones. While he's not the face of sweeping charity campaigns, Bronny shows up in quieter, powerful ways. He's joined LeBron and Savannah at local food drives in Los Angeles, handing out boxes to underprivileged families through the LeBron James Family Foundation. Cameras catch him smiling not for show, but with sincerity, a young man who understands that influence, when used right, can reach further than fame. He doesn't seek applause for these moments. He simply participates. With over 7 million Instagram followers, Bronny has also transformed his social platforms into channels for good. Beyond branded posts and game highlights, he shares moments of encouragement, glimpses of vulnerability, and signs of growth. In doing so, he reminds his generation that strength isn't just about talent, it's about compassion. At just 20, Bronny James is no longer just the son of an icon. He's a survivor, quiet leader, and a symbol of resilience in a culture obsessed with instant success. His path forward won't be measured by trophies alone, but by the lives he impacts along the way. Bronny James was born into a dynasty, expected to inherit a crown most athletes spend lifetimes chasing. But what he's built at just 20 years old is something his last name alone could never guarantee. He's battled through a life-threatening heart condition, withstood jeers from packed arenas, and endured a media storm that would have broken lesser men. Yet each setback became part of a foundation. He's not just the kid in the mansion with the supercars or the million-dollar sneaker deals. He's the athlete who scored 17 points when it mattered most, who trained in silence while the world questioned his worth, and who turned a near-death moment into a mission to save lives. Today he stands not in his father's shadow, but beside it with a voice, a brand, and a purpose of his own. Critics still circle, ready to pounce on every missed shot. But Bronny doesn't flinch. He's already proven that greatness isn't handed down, it's earned, often in the quietest, most painful corners of the journey. Whether his stats ever rival LeBron's isn't the point. The real story is about transformation, from a boy expected to carry a legacy to a man building one from scratch. His story isn't over, but if the past is any indication, the chapters ahead will be worth watching.